What's up, guys? Welcome to Down the Weeble Hole. Today we are talking about a series that aired back in winter of 2019. It's our Halloween-themed video for this year, and it is the Promised Neverland, a fantastic anime that came out, like I said, earlier this year, and I actually just finished watching it last night. Breaking the fourth wall today is October 19th, so now you guys know when I watched it, and I sped through it in like 3 days.
Yep.
It's only 12 episodes, so it's definitely worth taking a look at it. So we're going to deconstruct it a little bit today, talk about what we thought about it, and yeah, let's get this started.
I watched it maybe like a week ago.
Okay, so not that long ago.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I watched it on the train and I was like hooked, but I was like, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
And I really loved it.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic series.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of a movie called Never Let Me Go,
Mm-hmm.
which is also a book. It's I don't want to spoil it, but if you don't mind spoilers,
Yeah.
it's about cloning.
Okay.
And they're being like created, and they're being groomed to be harvested later on in their lives.
Okay.
So this reminded
essentially Misaka, right? So.
Is that what happens to her? I don't know.
Oh, I mean, she's being used for Accelerator to kill.
Oh
her,
yes,
right.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Yeah, but their body parts are going to be harvested, and I felt like this was a lot like it, except this was more about aliens.
Yeah.
Which was
aliens? Did you say aliens?
Demons, as they call it. But
yeah.
I didn't like that we were shown the demons right away.
Yeah.
I didn't like that part because I was hoping, like, I wouldn't mind like seeing like maybe its leg or something, and not knowing what it looks like. Yeah. Was actually.
Yeah. But there's so much more to this series, and so much more to come as well.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to find out a lot about the world, I feel.
Because this season, all it is the prison break. Like,
yeah, that's it. And I feel, maybe it's because I just watched it right before, and I know that's probably the biggest influence, but I really do feel that there are a lot of similarities between The Promised Neverland and Attack on Titan. They're trapped within a wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what's on the outside world. They find out by getting to the gate, right?
Yeah.
They get to see what's actually there, and then they try, and they still want their freedom, right? They still want to escape, and I feel like I hope it's not like the same linear. It doesn't take the same linear path that Attack on Titan does with the whole world reveal and everything.
Yeah,
but like the same, I don't want the same concept, but I like the idea of people who think that like everything's peaceful, and then all of a sudden that just shatters.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? What I really liked about this series, and what I want to touch upon first, is something that we never really talk about on this channel, which is the direction. I loved the direction of this anime. Mamoru Kanbei was the director. He storyboarded anime like Elfen Lied, and another one that A Place Further Than the Universe.
Okay.
So just thinking about like those two series and how popular they are and how good they are as well, you sort of get a sense for like where the direction is going to go. I love the cuts that happen just to like faces in the first couple of episodes, and then just like Krone's like teddy bear.
That thing's so creepy.
It is, but it's because of the audio effects that like the sound effects that they use, as well as the cutting and the zooming, the panning to it and whatnot.
Like the animation itself as well.
It shouldn't be creepy in theory, but it is because of all of that. The animation's great, of course, but I just love the direction in this anime. I felt like it was one of the most compelling that I've seen.
Well, it was tense. You're always
exactly.
on the edge.
It was super
I
well
like
done.
That.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I want to touch on. For sure, I think we absolutely need to talk about the characters.
Yeah.
Because going into this anime, the fear that I had before watching this series was that it was children characters, right?
Yeah.
They're children. So I'm like, how good can this possibly be? Mm-hmm. But of course, this is anime. Yeah. You can do anything you want with any character, and these three are geniuses.
Yeah, exactly. They're
the three main cast.
Top of the class. They're super smart.
Yeah. Emma, Norman, and Ray.
Yeah.
Are just great. I love all three.
Me too. It's hard to pick your favorite.
Yeah.
I think I like Ray the most.
Yeah. For sure. Before we go any further, by the way, spoilers, because I am going to mention a pretty key plot point here. If you haven't watched it yet, go and watch it. Come back to this video.
It's only 12 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. I really like the bait and switch that happens with Norman and Ray. So
oh, yeah.
At the very beginning, you think that immediately the first thing that goes through your mind as you find out that like Ray knows everything is that he's going to be the martyr. He's going to be the one that gets killed, sacrificed for them.
Yeah.
And then it just flips and it's Norman.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. And it's a character that you're really invested in, that you really think is going to make it to the end, and then just...
But do you think Norman's dead?
No.
Neither do I. No. Neither do I.
I don't think anybody thinks that Norman is dead because...
You don't see it.
Exactly. You saw it with Crone. You saw it sort of with Connie. But...
Well, you see Connie's dead body, so yeah.
But...
You don't...
He gets brought into a room.
Yeah.
And the last thing you see is his eyes wide open. Mm-hmm. So something's happening with him.
Something crazy is going on.
We just don't know what. He's gonna come back at some point. I think
sure.
He's gonna end up being antagonist, maybe. Possibly. But I still love the bait and switch. Even if he did die, I would still be satisfied. Yeah. Because it's presented that way, right?
It was a hard scene.
Yeah, it was.
When Emma like runs to him and tries to stop him, like twice. Yeah. Like, it's really sad.
Yeah. And the device that Ray makes as well to short circuit the tracking device.
Ray's awesome.
He's incredible.
He had to deal with that for like so much longer than everyone else. Yeah. And had to know all this stuff.
That thing that he has, he talks about infancy amnesia.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And the fact that he doesn't have it. I didn't get a chance to look that up, but I don't know if that's a real thing.
I think so.
You guys can let us know in the comments if you actually do know, but I'll probably do my research after. Either way, though, regardless of whether it's real or not, again, coming back to this whole idea that we're in an anime, right? It doesn't matter if it's real or not. It could be real. And he remembers everything, and I think even more so the fact that he's actually Isabella's legitimate child. Yeah, that was,
that was crazy.
Yeah. I had a feeling. When I found out that mothers had to give birth, I was like, okay, so it's one of them. Yeah. And which one looks the most like her? Well, if I had to pick one, it'd be black hair, right? Yeah. So it's going to be Ray.
And they're so close already, so...
Yeah, exactly. So... And so it makes sense that he's the spy, right?
Crone had a kid?
Yeah, sure. She had to.
But it died. I think it was like a miscarriage, or like I think it was a miscarriage.
I think maybe that's what her teddy bear signifies.
Represents. That's what I think.
Right? Because,
it looks like a dead child.
Yeah, it's sort of the... I think it's the metaphor for her child. Yeah. And that's why she's constantly talking to it and whatnot. So
yeah, so I'm pretty sure she lost her child.
Yeah.
Or like maybe it was sacrificed right away.
Yeah. So I don't know. Either way, I think Crone is a great character.
She's interesting.
I'm sad that she died so early.
Yeah.
Because I really did want to see more of her. But seeing the direction that the series is going in, at some point you have to kill off some characters.
Well, yeah.
So
it's interesting because the orphanage is still there.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, are we going to get more about, what's his face, the little kid?
Phil?
Yeah, are we going to get more of Phil later on?
For sure. I think not right away. I think the next season's probably really going to focus on
like seeing the outside world and like they're going to be like hunted.
Yeah, for sure. And some of them are going to die. Yeah. Guaranteed.
Because they took a lot of people.
Yeah. And they started to give you some sort of character or emotional attachment to some characters that were less prevalent in the series near the end. Yeah. Right? They started to put a little bit of spotlight on a few.
Those two kids, that little girl who was scared.
Exactly. So I think that the next season is going to build up to focus on them mainly. Maybe kill off one or two of them.
For sure.
And I think that it's just really well done. It's great. I don't know if it's light novel, manga form.
It's manga, I think.
Okay.
It's still going, I believe.
So it does have source material. It's not an original. So I'm assuming that it was super well adapted. I haven't heard any negative comments about it. Not that I've heard too much about it in general, but I've heard a lot of praise for it.
And I think that's very well deserved. Yeah. Like I think this is one of the best anime I've watched all year.
Yeah, guaranteed.
By far, it's going on my top 10.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's up there for me too. Maybe on the lower end of the top 10 because I watched a lot of good stuff this year. As little as I've watched, I've seen a lot of good anime.
Nice.
So characters absolutely great. For me, my favorite character is Isabella. Mom is best character for me because she's presented as an antagonist, and I love the idea of this when this is done in general in anime. Or in stories, period. She's presented as an antagonist for the first 11 episodes.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, it pulls a 180 on you, and it gives you a little bit of context, her backstory.
Yeah.
Everybody in this world thus far that we've met, other than the demons, of course, is a victim of the system in some way. And you see a little bit of her backstory.
She's a failed Emma.
Yeah, and exactly. And you start to feel for her a little bit, right? At the same time, she's still not a great person.
She's not, but because that's the system she's in.
Yeah, and she's doing it all to survive, which at the end of the day, none of us can say that we wouldn't do.
Exactly.
So she's had to adapt, and you do feel some sympathy for her.
I did.
And I think that's why I think she's such a great character.
I love that scene when you see her when she's a kid, and then she looks, and it's just that space.
Yeah.
That you can't cross.
Yeah, exactly. She had the same experience as Norman, as Emma, and like the clincher was when Ray was singing the song, when he was humming the song from forget the name of the character.
Isn't it her?
No, her friend was playing the guitar,
on the
right?
Guitar.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I feel like she is the best character. I feel like there's a lot of room for growth with her character later on. If she does return, we don't know if she's going to be that prevalent.
I think she'll still be in it.
Yeah.
If Phil's going to be brought back, it's probably going to look at the orphanage still.
Yeah, but again, I feel like that'll be in later seasons.
Or she's going to get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And she could be killed, like, right away.
Yeah, for sure. So... you see, the thing is, another thing with Promised Neverland is that I didn't know that it was going to be seasonal like this. I thought it was sort of a shorter story.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't really dive into the sort of the lore, or I didn't know that the source material even existed. So,
well, I even feel like one season is still fine because now you're just left with like, okay, they got out. Who knows what happens? Like, that's
exactly. It's the ideal way to end it.
Yeah,
they did a really good job with pacing. I think the pacing was fantastic.
It's also because we know that there is another goal for them. Because when they read those books and they find out like that.
Yes, William. Yeah, exactly.
So they still have that to do.
Yeah. And I was hoping that the person playing the guitar was going to be William.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was really hoping, and then it was somebody else. So I was like, all right, whatever. But yeah, exactly. There's a goal now, right? There's a person that they know about. It reminded me a little bit of the way that the final episode kind of went down reminded me a little bit of Made in Abyss. Just the way that it sets up for the next season.
Okay.
I think it ends at like an ideal place where it gives you enough anticipation for the next season, but you're not like left hanging on anything, right?
Or like Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like I said, pacing, animation, even the soundtrack's good.
Did you find like their faces were kind of weird? Like I felt like their smiles were a little bit too high.
I did too, mainly with Isabella. Isabella.
Really? I felt like
nobody else's.
Oh, I felt with like all characters.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. Like I felt like their mouths were a little bit too high.
I liked it.
I didn't mind, but I was just something I noticed, and I was like, whatever.
I didn't pay much mind to it. I know that every different series has different animation.
It gives it a little bit of a style to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's original in that sense. So, but yeah, but like especially I focused more on like the detailed art, like when they zoom in on faces, Emma's eyes. I was paying attention to a lot. Norman's as well. Norman has like insane eyes when they get wide and shit. Yeah, his are insane. Ray doesn't have much life in his, so it's there's not much to talk about there. But like just focusing on things like that, the whole scene that you mentioned with Emma like dropping her crutch and running up to Norman as he's about to be shipped off, that one was super well animated as well. The slight cut to where you see that she's about to like slam her leg on the floor and she would be in insane pain, and Norman stops her and knocks her away. Just all of that entire interaction was fantastic.
I love that
there's so many little things that it's one of the only series that's done this to me where I pick up on like maybe it's my experience now with anime, but I picked up on all the little subtle the very small subtleties. One
of my favorite scenes is when Isabel breaks Emma's leg.
Yes.
Oh my god, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Her screams were not the best I've heard.
They're up there.
But solid.
They were
very solid. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to talk about, honestly.
Well, the ending was good too, when Ray's gonna like put himself on fire.
Yeah.
That was sick.
I forgot to mention that. Their use of flashback, like impromptu flashback, like I love when series do this, and I've seen it more in the West than anywhere else. But when you have a scene unfold, and then you cut to the setup of that very scene immediately after. I think that's super well done. But even the use of flashback for things that have already happened, for backstory, super good. There's not too much internal flashback, which I like, which a lot of series seem to do to sort of waste time, where it's like, let's cut back to this scene and show it again, even though it already happened in the anime and the viewer is already aware of it. That I don't like, which they didn't use at all. So I love that.
I love the pacing in this anime.
Oh yeah, it's great.
It's fantastic. It's like never a dull moment, but enough room to breathe. Yeah,
it's really, really, really solid. So there's not too much more to say. I think that as usual with all of our videos, you guys gotta go and check out the series yourself to really understand.
Well, I'm hoping you're watching the series before you watch your videos.
Yeah, exactly. But not everybody does. Sometimes I watch videos on series that I haven't seen yet just to get a feel for how people feel about it. And then I'll like turn off the video before like shit gets real and I get spoiled too much. But yeah, that's it. I think we're gonna end it off there.
Yep.
Definitely go and check out The Promised Neverland. It's probably going to be on our top 10s this year.
Most likely.
Yeah, so definitely go and give it a view. And we're going to sign off on this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Halloween episode.
Yep.
And we will catch you guys on the next one.
Have a spooky Halloween.
Ciao.